I feel it is high time we had the conversation about loneliness in entrepreneurship and why a lot of entrepreneurs are lonely, plus 7 different ways that you can actually handle loneliness as an entrepreneur. And we're going to get into that right about now. Hi, I am Dayo Samuel, and this is my channel. This is where I help you make more money with less stress, less anxiety, and less fear. Now, if you've been following this channel for a while, you would find that this is where I typically talk about the mental and the emotional well-being of entrepreneurs, particularly where it has to do with how much mental capacity, how much emotional demand that is being placed upon us as entrepreneurs. And what I want to do with this video is actually to make it very, very casual. And in fact, I'm not even going to do a lot of editing with this particular video. I'm just going to be real and have this conversation with you. So I have friends who are entrepreneurs, a lot of friends actually who are entrepreneurs, and one of the things that I've begun to notice with a lot of my entrepreneur friends, and even myself as an entrepreneur, is that we get to work in isolation, we get to work in loneliness, we get to work in a lot of times we get to work in atmosphere where we typically are the only ones. And that can make you feel lonely. That can make us feel lonely. In fact, there have been times when all I had was just me and my laptop. And that was long before I got married. Now that I have a wife and my wife happens to be my business partner, it's been quite interesting to actually handle that part of loneliness. So what I want to do here is to actually share with you some of the things that cause entrepreneurship loneliness and how you can actually handle that. So first, let's talk about why is there loneliness in entrepreneurship, or why do entrepreneurs feel lonely? Now, I'm working with a note here. I'm working with some of the things that I've actually outlined. Now, these are coming from my conversations with a lot of entrepreneurs, and these are some of the reasons that I have found that make a lot of us work or live in, so to say, isolation. So number one is, well, loneliness can result from working from home. So perhaps you have your studio in your house, and maybe you moved office from maybe an external place, you moved it back home, like I did in this 2019. I moved my office from where it was in Allen in Ikeja. I moved it back to my house and created a room in my house, furnished it, turned it into a studio. In fact, this is my studio right here. This is where I do all my videos, all my productions, everything. This is where I get to have private conversations with clients. I get to do all of them right here. Now, you may not be able to do that, and that is fine. But if you're that type of entrepreneur who runs a lot of things from home, you typically have the tendency to be lonely at times, especially if you live in the house alone. Second reason why entrepreneurs get to experience loneliness is because of social anxiety. And I have a lot of videos. In fact, I did an entire series on how to handle social anxiety. So if you want to do that, check up here. You'll be able to find how to do that, either up here or up here. One of them, you'll be able to find an entire playlist on how to handle social anxiety. Now, if you tend to be the type of entrepreneur who has social anxiety, you will most likely not want to go out. In fact, I once had a conversation with someone who told me that he practically does not go out an entire week. He may not step out of his house because of his social anxiety. So you may be that type of person who works in isolation, who get to experience a lot of loneliness because you have social anxiety. That could be another reason. Number 3 reason why entrepreneurs get to experience a lot of loneliness and isolation is because some entrepreneurs are basically introverted. And when I say introverted, what that means is that they are not the high energy type of people. While a lot of people think introvertedness means that you don't like to relate with people, being an introvert does not completely mean that you don't like to relate with people. For me as a person, what it means for me is that when I find myself in situations where I have to be an extrovert, I get to spend a lot of energy in relating with multiple persons at a time. So in order to conserve my energy, I usually stay alone. I usually stay away from people. That is my own reason for being, so to say, lonely. But you may not be that type of person that relates a lot with people. So it could be that your loneliness is caused by your introverted personality. So it could be that you are basically just introverted, and that is okay, that is fine. There's nothing bad around that. There's nothing against that. I have nothing against that. That is totally fine. If your loneliness if your loneliness stems from your introvertedness, that is totally fine. You just need to find a way to create a balance, and I'm going to share with you 7 ways that you can create balance shortly. Yes, the last reason why entrepreneurs experience loneliness is what I call social disconnectivity that results from multiple interconnectivity. Ha! That sounds like big English, isn't it? Well, here's what I mean. Social disconnectivity means that you are physically disconnected from people, from interactions with physical human beings. And multiple interconnectivity simply means that digitally, virtually, you have a lot of connections with a lot of people. And that can douse the sense of meeting people and relating with them physically. So if that happens to be what you are currently experiencing, you have a lot of social friends, a lot of virtual friends, and you have very minimal physical friends, it means that you need to increase your social connectivity and reduce your multiple interconnectivity, perhaps your digital connectivity. So it means that sometimes you need to basically just go offline in order to relate with physical people around you. It means that sometimes you need to go out in order to relate with people around you. So let's talk about 7 ways to fix entrepreneurial loneliness. So number 1 tip, do video calls. I have found that when it comes to communication, 75% of what we say is basically what we see, how people carry their physical expression, how they express themselves, their facial expression, their body posture, and all that carries 75% of our communication, while 15% is basically the tone, how people say what they say. That is the tone, whether they are saying it quietly like this, or they are saying it with a lot of passion, just as I am doing right now. That is tone. Or 5% of communication is basically the words that people say. So imagine if the only way you are relating with people, the only way you are communicating with someone is just via text. So it means that you are only getting 5% of what the person is saying, and you are missing out on the remaining 95% of how the person is communicating with you. So if you want to fix entrepreneurial loneliness, get to do a lot of video calls. So case in point, when my wife gave birth some weeks ago, my mentor had to get on video call because he was not physically available. So he got on a video call, and we got on video call, and I showed him my wife, showed him the baby, even showed my face. I spoke with his family, everybody greeted each other, and we could see physical expressions. You could basically see each other eye to eye, and we are not physically present with each other. So that is one way to actually fix entrepreneurial loneliness. Rather than be chatting with people through Messenger, get on physical video calls like this. For example, as I'm talking right now, you can relate with me, you can see me physically. So it's easier for you to actually grasp what I'm trying to say, rather than if I had written it as text and pasted it on your screen for you, you would basically have missed out a lot of what I am trying to actually express to you. Second way that you can fix entrepreneurial loneliness, if you are feeling lonely and you seem to be the only person who's doing your entire business, second way you can fix that is to actually change your office. You remember I mentioned earlier on that one of the reasons why entrepreneurs feel lonely is because they work from home. Rather than work from home, what if you get a co-working space? What if you get a co-working space where you can physically see other people, other entrepreneurs like yourself? So getting a co-working space could solve entrepreneurial loneliness in the sense that we may not even physically talk with them, but the fact that you can see people around you, people walking around you, people walking and walking around you, it can actually reduce the fact that you feel you are the only one doing everything yourself. So That's second thing you can do. You can join a co-working space, and if you are looking for a co-working space, you can basically go on Google and type co-working space around me, and you'll be able to find places around you where there are co-working spaces or maybe digital hubs around you. You will basically find a lot. The third way you can fix entrepreneurial loneliness and to overcome loneliness as an entrepreneur is to actually get out of your house, get out of your own way, get out of your house and go into the environment, go get into nature, enter the nature outside your office. So sometimes when you feel lonely like that, you can basically just step out of your office and just go outside the house and just sit down for maybe 5 minutes, or just step out of your compound completely and then go out. In fact, there's actually a brain hack that I once shared on this channel. You can find that somewhere around here, or you can check the description below for a video about brain hack. That when you are feeling bored, when you are feeling tired, sometimes just going through multiple doors can actually trigger the sense of excitement, because somehow our brain sees opening a door as getting into a new phase. So if you are feeling lonely, you can actually get up, walk outside the studio, walk outside the office, get outside of your house, and then get into nature outside of your house. Just take fresh air. You may not even spend more than 5 minutes. You can just stay in one place and then just inhale, take in the fresh air, just walk around and just enjoy yourself. That's another way you can actually fix entrepreneurial loneliness. So number 4 way to fix entrepreneurial loneliness is to actually hire a coach or a therapist. And I mean that literally. Sometimes loneliness could be stemming from an unconscious emotion, something you can't consciously fix, something you can't consciously solve. And when it happens that way, you may not be able to pinpoint it yourself. It could be stemming from something deeper than just the loneliness. And so when you speak with a therapist who helps you look into past behavioral patterns, or you speak with a coach who can help you redesign or help you change behaviors, it may be very, very helpful. And in this case, I want to do a shameless plug. You can actually talk to me because I'm a professional coach and therapist. You can actually talk to me so I can help you. In case you have tried every other thing and it doesn't work, speak with a coach, speak with me. You can basically just use any of the buttons down below in the description to actually send me an email. My email is iam@dayosamuel.com. That is my email. Or iam@dayosamuel.com. That is my direct personal email. So you can even email me if you want to talk to a therapist or you want to talk to a coach. I can help with that. But this is speaking with a coach, speaking with a therapist not only helps you solve loneliness, it helps you understand how loneliness is playing out, just as something that you can easily identify. Speaking with a coach or a therapist helps you identify the underlying issues beneath that loneliness. So it goes beyond just the loneliness that you can identify. It helps you to identify other things. Could it be separation anxiety? Could it be the fact that you are disconnected from people completely? Or could it be that something else somewhere needs to be paid attention to? And sometimes when you speak with a coach or a therapist, particularly somebody who does holistic coaching and therapy like I do, it may be able to help you identify that loneliness is only a pointer to some other areas of your life that you have ignored. So that is another way to fix entrepreneurial loneliness. And number 5 way to fix entrepreneurial loneliness, number 5 way to actually cure entrepreneurial loneliness is to actually change your daily routine. Perhaps your brain has gotten used to the fact that you do everything you do in a particular style. You wake up in the morning, you carry your phone, you answer emails, answer all the calls, and afterwards, the next thing you do is you get to office, sit down, work yourself out, and after you are done working yourself out, you perhaps close your laptop, then you get out, go to your room to go and sleep, or maybe you even work from your room directly. It means that your laptop is by your side, and so you basically wake up and sleep with your laptop by your side. So that routine, your brain could have gotten so used to that routine, and the feeling of loneliness could be a signal to the fact that you need to change your routine. So a simple way to actually do that will be to introduce something new to your daily routine, rather than just letting everything slide by, letting everything go the way everything goes. Perhaps you can just say, okay, this week I want to, every day for these next 7 days, I want to introduce something new to my routine. It could be as simple as when you wake up in the morning, you do exercise first, or maybe you are doing exercise, you just find one thing to tweak in your daily routines. So for example, now I'm giving this as a personal practical example. I observed that in the last 3 weeks, when I wake up, I have my phone on flight mode. So I wake up, open an app on my phone, my reading app, and I start reading a book, or I open up YouTube and watch an educational video early in the morning. Now you can actually change that routine the way I did. So about 3, 4, 5 days ago, I changed that routine. So rather than pick my phone when I wake up in the morning, I simply pick a physical book. In fact, the title of the book I pick is The Motivation Manifesto by Brendan Burchard. I basically picked that because it's been on my reading list for a long while, and I actually have it physical on my table inside my office here. So I moved it from my office here and moved it to my bedroom so that it's right by my side. Anytime I wake up in the morning, that's the first thing I pick, and I read a couple of pages there, and I think about that, and I say, okay. So you can see that I have just introduced something new to my routine, and this is something I do often, as much as possible. So find a way to introduce something new to your daily routine. And if you want to introduce something new to your daily routine, you of course need to be aware of how your daily routine actually works. Number 6 way to overcome entrepreneurial loneliness, or to fix entrepreneurial loneliness, is to join a mastermind. Now, a mastermind is a group of people who have similar interests and are focused on getting similar results. So it could be a group of people with similar industries, similar interests, or it could be people who have similar focus. And a mastermind could be virtual, a mastermind could be physical. Now, if you join a virtual mastermind, that is a mastermind that happens online, of course, it has to be video, because taking into consideration something I've already mentioned earlier on. So you have to get to do weekly video calls. At least you know that every week you have someone you're looking forward to meeting. That way it kind of keeps your system excited, knowing that this week I'm looking forward to meeting or seeing somebody. And of course, when you see them, you can actually share, you can have conversations. Now, you can also have the mastermind as a physical mastermind, which means that you can physically leave your house, knowing that every month, maybe once a month or once a quarter, you leave your house and go to that mastermind event. And all of you get together because you have similar interests, you have similar goals, you have similar focus, you have or maybe you're in a similar industry. So a mastermind is a way to actually handle entrepreneurial loneliness. And the interesting thing is that I am actually starting a virtual mastermind come 2020. That mastermind is called Leverage for Leaders. I actually talked about that in a previous video that I did about 2020 goals. So if you have not even seen that video yet, you might want to watch the video. But even if you don't watch that video and you're interested in being a part of my mastermind focuses on helping people create the results that they want to really create in their new year. It runs for basically 7 months. Every month we have something we are focusing on, that is one area of life that you basically focus on for that month, and you ensure you create results. So because I'm a kind of result-driven coach, I usually focus on helping people get to results. And of course, I have certification in results acceleration, so that helps me to help people get a result. So my mastermind is basically focused on you creating the results you are looking for the next 7 months. So if you're interested in joining the mastermind, you are very welcome. You can check down below for a link to have a conversation with me, because it's not like you can just basically jump in. Although you can easily jump in, but I have to ask you a lot of questions. We have to get into a conversation in order for that to happen, and the conversation can happen on WhatsApp. So you can basically check down below for a link, and you can chat me up from there. So that's for joining the mastermind. Joining the mastermind helps you to know that you are not alone. It helps you forge connections with people, help you develop deeper connections with people, that you can share things that are going on with you, and you can also listen to other people's stories. That way, it helps you mentally and emotionally get balanced. The last way that I'm going to share with you for fixing entrepreneurial loneliness, this one is actually a task, because this one I want you to actually go ahead and do something. So this is what I want you to go and do. Today, within the next 24 hours from now, I want you to step out of your house, and this is actually a crazy task. So all you are going to do is you are going to step out of your house, step out of your office, go to where you know that they sell something, maybe a shop, a restaurant, a cafe, or wherever. Look for somewhere you know that the person there sells something, and ask for something you know that they don't sell. So if you go to a barber shop, for example, ask them that you want to buy maybe a smartphone. You know they don't sell, but the idea is just for you to go out and just go and get to experience that. Now, one of the things it does for you is it helps you also handle something else that's usually attached to loneliness, which is the feeling of rejection. So if you go out consciously, you go out like that, and you go to places where they sell something and you ask them for something they don't sell, rather than being rejected, you know that you are the one that is putting yourself out there. You are not lonely. Plus, you are not being rejected. They don't have something you want. That is why you are asking them in the first place, and that's why they are turning you down. I am not sure I explained that clearly, but the idea is that you go out, step out of your house, go to a shop where they sell something, go to a store where they sell something. It can be a mini store, it could be a supermarket, it could be maybe even a big store. Go there, ask them for something you know that they don't sell, and try and see the reaction that you will have. You most likely identify something else that is different from just the loneliness that you have. Now, it's a crazy task, I know, but try it and comment down below and let me know how that is helpful to you. Now, if you have enjoyed any of the tips that I've shared here right now, you will want to go ahead and subscribe so that you can receive tips like this every week when I release them. Remember to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you can receive tips like this every week. Now, this is a bonus tip just for you because you watched till the end. If you want to solve entrepreneurial loneliness, a faster way, a smart way, a very, very easy way to do that is to actually get a business partner. I remember the time that it was basically just me running our company. Of course, you know that I run two businesses, I run two companies. The first one that I was running, which is Audacity to Lead, as you can see on my chest here, Audacity to Lead. Now, when I was running it, it was basically just me alone. And when I began to notice that I was feeling a little overwhelmed by what was going on, then I got married. So I brought in my wife to come join me. And so she became my business partner. Now, having a wife who's also a business partner has been helpful to me. Now, you may not necessarily need to have a wife in order to have a business partner, but getting a business partner can drastically reduce that loneliness. What it means is that sometimes when things come up about your business, you have someone you can easily talk to that will always have your back, because of course, the person has a stake in the business just as you do. So this is one of the most powerful ways, one of the cheapest, easiest, you can get anywhere way to fix entrepreneurial loneliness. I hope these tips are helpful to you. If they are, please comment down below and remember to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. I'll see you in 2020. And that's just about some days away anyway. See you.